Good
Good morning.
morning, Erin.
And we did it at the same time. That's great. Um, good
Hi,
morning. We are, I'm Erin.
I'm
We're having a
Kristen,
rough morning. Brittany's on a plane, so she's not joining us. Um,
and
welcome to
I'm
Leftover
in,
Cake Chat.
yeah, I'm actually in Key West, which is where Brittany lives, which is very strange, but not really strange for us. But
Yeah.
that's my vacation attire. So, a little deceiving because we're actually talking about New Hampshire this morning, and none of us are in New Hampshire, but I am actually from New Hampshire. Born there, went to college there, lived there for many years. Um, and it's actually a really cool state. You've got four seasons, so you can get married in spring, summer, winter, or fall. There is something for everyone. We're bringing you this week, we're continuing with our Airbnb program where we are finding unique locations for smaller groups to hold destination weddings. I'm going to start with a couple, and then Erin's going to jump in. She's got a couple as well. We're each doing three today, covering up for Brittany here. Um, good. By the way, no cake, no. I just came from a paddleboard, so there's no cake and there's no champagne today. Water.
I honestly forgot that January was over. So forgot that we were back to the leftover cake and the champagne. So I just was simply not prepared. Even though I was doing month end for everything, wasn't prepared.
It's okay. You know, they're really not here to see us drink and eat, right? They're here to learn about locations. So let's give them some locations. So I'm going to start with a budget property, but it's a very unique property. It's called the Gingerbread Manor. It's in Jefferson, New Hampshire. It actually has 17 bedrooms with 35 beds. It's a mini
Love it.
hotel.
Love it.
16 bathrooms. It is a very simple kind of budget location, but we picked it because we do actually have a client that wanted to kind of bring in a little bit of a twist with camping. They asked about this property, the one I found. I picked it because you can actually bring in your own tents. So on top of your 35 beds, feel free to bring your tents. It does have a little bit of a unique twist to it. It is decorated inside like Christmas. So you know that's not going to be my favorite place to hang out, but it is, you've got brooks, you've got hiking trails, you've got bridges. The views are amazing of the White Mountains. So you've got that majestic background. They have fire pits, hot tubs. It is a protected animal environment, so they do just ask, while you are there, especially camping outside, that you're respectful, of the protected animal environment. So that's the Gingerbread Manor in Jefferson, New Hampshire. Um, Erin, I'll let you talk for a minute and talk a little bit about what you have found, and then we'll wrap up with me.
All right. Gail said it's cold, and I'm not sure where Gail is, but it's cold here too in Tennessee. So, but we are talking about New Hampshire, and it's up north, so it is what it is. I have two properties actually in Warren, New Hampshire. Both of them are posted on Airbnb through Sandy. Um, Absolutely gorgeous places. Log cabins. The first one, I'm going to put my notes up here so I can read them better. The first one is, and Kristen's going to correct me on my pronunciation of this mountain, but it's Pat's Cabin in Mountain Pulaski,
Mount
Moose
Pulaski.
Uh, we're going to get it on the post so that way you guys can see it. Um, but it is 300 private acres. Um, it's a beautiful log cabin. You can have more than 16 people there. It is 6 rooms with 17 beds. I love the fact that they put how many beds and not just the rooms, so that way you can see. Um, a lot of times when it says 16 people, you're thinking, okay, well, is that 2 people per bed? So I love the fact that it's 17 beds and it tells you that, people can have their individual bed. They may be sharing a room, but at least they can sleep by themselves if they want to. It's very important for our groups because I know a lot of times sharing a room isn't an issue, but sharing a bed might be a little awkward. So we definitely look at that and make sure that we have that information for you. This has 4.5 baths. It has beautiful mountain views. There's trails, there's fishing, there's swimming, there's kayaking. You're like 20 to 35 minutes from nearby towns or ski resorts. So it's in a location where there's a lot to do. The great thing about this is it has 2 acres of an event field. There is a pond. You can put up an arch. You can take and put in a tent. There's just so many opportunities with this. And you can get married right there, have your reception, have your rehearsal dinner, have your send off breakfast, anything you want. Get married there, have a bunch of your friends and families stay there as well. And it's you don't have to go anywhere, which is super nice. And you're super close to all these different locations of things to do. Since the second one that I have is also in Warren and it is the same Airbnb owner, I'm going to jump right into that. It's the title of it is Rustic Gathering. It is a beautiful home. Once again, it is very country. It is just a place to go and relax. It is 8,000 square feet. I
Holy
mean,
moly.
yeah, it's huge. Again, you can sleep over 16 guests. There's 6 bedrooms. There's 25 beds. 25. 4.5 baths, and it's surrounded by a national park, or a national forest, sorry. And it's great for not only weddings and receptions and things of that sort, but it's also great for corporate retreats or the bridal retreats or team buildings or something like that, because they have the rec room that is equipped with audiovisual settings. So there's different things that you can do there. They also have a commercial kitchen, so you can bring in a private chef, aka Chef Enrique, and he can cook for you and do all of that. There's plenty of space outside for cornhole. Well, there's a barn, the rec room, a jacuzzi. And what I love is that there's like, I don't know if it's a river or a creek. Some people say creek. Um, there's that in the background, and you can do the ceremony right in front of it. And like the pictures of the bride and groom kind of walking or standing on the rocks next to it are absolutely gorgeous. So those are 2 of Sandy's locations in Warren, New Hampshire that I was absolutely impressed with and would love to help somebody get married there, or maybe we'll even do the bridal retreat. Who knows?
Yeah, it's so pretty there. I mean, really, any time of year that you choose, you're going to get beautiful backdrop, whether it's snow or more mountains. And I think Gail must have been referring to it's cold there now, because she's in Florida, so she's definitely, hopefully, not saying it's cold where she is. I I want to do a wedding at this location. First of all, the girl that is the super host of this Airbnb is Kristen, spelled the correct way, the same as me. Um, she has the farmhouse at Woods Hill. Now, this place is a amazing. It's 260 acres in the White Mountains. The main house was built in 1849, 7 bedrooms, 15 beds, 5 baths. It is a fully operational farm. So, Aaron, you're going to want to go because you know what they have. Um, farm animals. They actually have their own restaurants nearby as well, and they provide provisions from their farm to all of their restaurants. All pasture raised organic meats, fruits and vegetables. They have their own beehives, they have their own mushroom logs. This place is just, I mean, the pictures don't do it justice, I'm sure, but I want to go. I mean, she's gone to every length to make sure that even the sheets, the towels, the cleaning products that they use are eco-friendly.
Love it.
So this is going to, I know, amazing. Spa services and farm tours are available for her groups. Again, just everything that she's done, this is going to be for that super health conscious organic bride and groom that want to, pay it back to the environment and use the provisions that are provided. Obviously, I'm imagining somebody in her household is also a chef, if they've got restaurants. So I wasn't quite sure, and I haven't been able to connect with her to find out if you have to use their own food and beverage for your events. But we'll report back on that. So, but if not, it sounds like what they provide is pretty amazing. So that's in Bath, New Hampshire. And then my last one is kind of a unique property as well. It actually has, you can rent it in two different ways. It's called the Moose Lodge. It's in Bretton Woods. The first half, if you rent, is just called the 1800 ML, and then the second half in the end is the 1800 all. And it's going to be based on the number of bedrooms. So if you just did the first part of it, you've got 5 bedrooms, 9 beds, and 3 baths. If you decided you needed more space, they actually can accommodate 11 bedrooms, 11 beds, and 6 baths. So probably, they just split it up like that for groups that don't want to take the entire space. This property was used in a national beer commercial that's coming out, I think, today for the Super Bowl.
That's
So
awesome.
thought that was pretty fitting. They weren't allowed to say which beer yet, but I'm imagining we'll find out tomorrow, or if we're watching Super Bowl today. Um, it is protected by the National Forest Association, so everything around that, the view that you'll see is all protected wildlife area. They have a certified wildlife habitat on property, so very cool. It does mention that you get discounted ski passes with them to Bretton Woods. So if you are a snow bunny and you want to get married in the winter, you can also save on some ski passes. But the great thing about this is along the river, you can actually find private sandy beach. Obviously not in winter, but if you want to choose the property in the summer, you can actually just hike a little bit into their property, and there are private sandy beaches along the river for beautiful ceremony backdrop. You'd have, again, the White Mountains in the backdrop. They have 32 acres, so they have a little bit of something for everyone on this property as well. So those are my New Hampshire properties, and of course, I'm going to be a big fan of New Hampshire because that's where I'm from, and it is really beautiful. And you're not far from, you're hours from Montreal, you're hours from Boston, you're hours from Maine, Portland, Maine, or the beaches. So if you're in New Hampshire, you've got the mountains, you've got kind of everything, but you're not far from the ocean. So
Yeah.
always good.
Well, and I absolutely fell in love with the last one that I looked at. It is White Mountain Winter Escape. The superhost is Samantha. It's in Tamworth, New Hampshire. You have, again, all of mine are 16 plus guests this week. We're looking for, kind of the larger groups. I know when we talked about a couple in Tennessee and some in Florida, we were looking at some of the smaller groups for some of them. This week, we definitely have a lot of locations in New Hampshire that are the Airbnb that can host the larger groups. There's just a lot more land, and there's a lot of older homes that are just absolutely huge and gorgeous. So this house itself is a classic farmhouse. It is white and beautiful, and it looks like one of those movies from Hallmark, which I'm just like, I'm going to go. I'm going to stay there. It's 15 minutes from King Pine Ski Resort. You are about 25 minutes from Conway. So you have outlets, you have glacier hiking, you can go snowshoeing. There's a whole bunch of activities again. And as Kristen said, you're close to, going out and doing different things when you're in New Hampshire. There's a lot of options. But particularly with this home, there are 13 bedrooms and there's 19 beds. There's 10 and a half baths. I love the amount of bathrooms there are. There's, I would share, I think, a bed before I would share a bathroom with somebody, but again, preferences. So they have plenty of parking on property. There's breakfast that's there. I love the hammock on the side of the house between the trees. I'd be in there all day long if I didn't fall out of it, but I try to be in there all day long. They have fireplaces, there's fire pits around the property, there's a beautiful barn. It is pet friendly. So there's different opportunities to do larger events and things of that nature on the property. We would just talk to them, put up tents, string lighting, whatever we would need to make it happen. But the fact that you have 19 beds right there on property is huge. Immediate family, bridal party, or depending on the size wedding that you're having, everyone can come and stay there. And again, it's a weekend escape for you, and with a variety of things close by to do. So if you're looking for New Hampshire, we have lots of great properties there. We are really loving the Airbnb locations. They are a lot more flexible than some of the other locations that we traditionally use, and they're open to some different things. Obviously, permitting and noise ordinance. We have to follow some of those, but it's just questions that we ask, and we make sure in the planning process with you that we cover all those things. So I'm excited to show you guys the pictures.
Yeah, and we'll post all of these on our blog this week as well, Leftover Cake Chat. You can hire Swivel Group Events to help you plan any of these weddings at these locations and work with these locations for you. If you do want to do it on your own and you just want some guidance on, getting started, you can do a virtual chat with us at Swivel Group Events. I will close in saying that if you choose any New Hampshire location, you must have a lobster clam bake. Now, all those people in Florida think they have the best lobster, but there's just no way. Maine lobster is the best. Sweet lobster and clams.
And there we go.
I am a fan of Maine lobster, so I'm happy to help set up through catering for your rehearsal dinner, or even my brother's wedding, the main course and entree was a lobster clam bake for my brother and sister-in-law's wedding. So I got some experience in a lot of that.
Absolutely.
But I think we're good. I think I'm not sure where we're going next week. Is it you or Brittany next week, Erin?
It's me.
It's you. Okay. Are you surprising us, or are you going to tell us?
No, it's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise. I'm debating on going somewhere warm or staying up north. I'm not sure yet.
Got it. Well, I'm about to head back out on my little break here in the Florida Keys. So it was great to talk to you, and I'll see you next Sunday.
All right. Sounds good. Guys, if you have any questions from us, go to our website, www.swivelgroupevents.com. Have a great day. Bye. Enjoy the Super Bowl.